Hello gamers, Matt Lemke here with True Gamer Goggles. Today we're going to be painting up the circle of Ouroboros Celestial Fulcrum Battle Engine base. I've already gone ahead and primed it with Army Painter Black, and then I hit it with a coat of Army Painter Rat Fur. As you can see, I need to hit a couple more spots. I'm going to just hit those with some dark flesh tone from Vallejo. I'm not even going to hit them, too difficultly hard or light. I'm just going to make sure that there's some color on them. And this is going to prove to be a little bit more of a difficult painting task than I thought, because of the new angle of the camera. The base is really actually kind of big. I'm going to have to zoom out. Oh, I can't zoom out. Hit some of these spots. Get some more color. I'm just going to kind of hit all of it to give it some more color. Wildly. They're rocks. Because this dark flesh tone is a little bit darker. And there's so many colors in nature, it's not funny. So we'll go ahead and we'll hit them. Yeah. And then for our drier highlight color that we're going to dry brush with, I've got Apple Barrel's Nutmeg Brown. I thought I was grabbing the Mississippi Brown, but I didn't. Apparently I don't know where that's at anymore. And that's what I'm going to dry brush with. A good bit of the model. It's going to be a lot lighter that way. There'll be a few more stages to this paint job, obviously. This is a pretty wet dry brush. And that's okay. I want a lot of different shades in here. I used the dark flesh tone to give me some more red. That might be too wet. Nice big fanny brush. Does a good job of covering a lot of area fast. And it's easy to make it go light. And when you do something like this, you get lots of contrast to what you're painting. We'll let this dry up. Hit these high spots. That's pretty much all we're going to be able to do for now. I'm going to let this dry. Hit some more of these spots. Grab my other brush, hit some of these spots. Hit some of these spots that I want more highlight in. I'm going to grab another smaller brush even. It's a little bit stiffer. I'm almost highlighting some of these just because of the way they are. Probably going to have to do a nice dark black or a dark brown wash over this to help blend it in a lot. And then come back, add some white to some of these. Well, to the brown. And dry brush it all again. Because I don't think there's enough contrast in this paint job right now. Maybe even a little bit of gray. So we're going to have to pause, let this dry. Definitely should hit it with some gray. I'm going to take some gray and I'm going to mix it with the brown, and that'll be, excuse me. Actually, I'll just go ahead and mix some of the white right now. It's a much lighter color. We'll just kind of come in wherever it hits. And this is a really wet dry brush, but you can see how it's hitting the lines nice and getting it all done. When it dries, those colors are going to kind of blend. And that's really it. That's all you do, pretty much, to this base. Just stick to putting paint on the high spots, and you'll be okay. A dark wash, flesh tone wash over this is probably going to be really nice. I'm probably going to go with black ink. I like black ink better. But I'll use whatever I have. I like the way when you kind of look over at the camera, how when you hit a spot, you can kind of see it pick up some life. And as it dries, you can kind of see where you need more color or less color, which is where you can focus more on your washes. And the drier your brush gets, the faster you can move. And again, it's rocks, so scrapes and scratches and different levels of shading and highlighting occur naturally like that. So this is not something that you need to be super perfect on. Now we're going to try and do some of the stuff on the outside. I'm having a hard time seeing it all because of where the camera's at. So this is going to prove to be a little bit more difficult for me to paint this on screen. And again, I'm going to have to come back through here and do some stuff to the base. I'm thinking about putting some foliage on it. Some ivies. Maybe some stuff around the edge. Isn't that cool, the way that just kind of comes to life? And a lot of this will blend in, especially with your first wash. The more paint you have, the harder it is to dry brush. Oops. But I mean, this model can be, you could do so much with this model. It'd be cool to paint this model in a, see how much that came together? Now you can just come in here as it's drying and hit those high spots again. Add another depth, layer of depth of perception for those colors. Now, if you really want to take this up a notch, you can just do this with a really dry brush and hit some of these high spots up here with some white. I'll show you that real quick. We get my brush good and dry, get some white. And again, the drier it is, the easier it's going to be to dry brush. Just kind of hit these peaks. And again, I'm no great painter. Maybe hit a couple of these higher spots down here with some white, add a little bit more color. White can help bring out a lot of things. Heck, the brush can tell better where the high spots are than you can. Hit some of these spots here. This is all going to dry later and blend in. Here you go. Wow, that was good actually. Heck, I'll even hit some of these spots up here on the outside. We got a nice dry brush. You know what would be nice on this? A red ink. I don't know if I have a red ink. Maybe I'll do a red and brown paint wash in its place. And that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to stop for a second and grab ink. Okay, I'm back. And I've got some Higgins brown ink. And normally I would really do a lot of thinning with this, but I like this look right here on the rocks. So I'm going to pretty much just brush it up straight, and then I'm going to hit it with some water. I like the lining effect that I get with the dark, like something ran in to this model. Oops. Well, the dilemma you have is it's ink and it will coat. So every now and then I'll hit a couple of these rocks. I'll just let it sit and dry. Sorry about that. Was adding some water to my palette. And again, I'm just trying to get this in the cracks, because that's what I want. That I like that look right there. A couple of these need to be watered off right away. Put that over here, put that over there. And if you think you have too much ink on them, grab a paper towel. Soak it up right away. And I do have too much ink on a couple, and if you do excess ink, you just kind of dab of paper towel. Cotton balls work. Just like that. You still have that nice wet, dark, liney look. You still have your nice highlights. And on the outside, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use a more traditional watered down wash and just hit the whole thing. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that real quick. I can do that real quick. Just like this. It's even lighter in color. Look at that. And this base, barring maybe another highlight or two, maybe a little change in color, but because of the high detail of the resin, this is an easy base to paint. And it rolls away on you if you're not careful. Now I'm going to go back through there real quick with paper towel, clean up the bottom, maybe my hand even. Get some of those excess spots off. I'll show you that in a second. You just kind of take your paper towel, turn it into a point like this, and wherever you see excess you don't want, you just kind of stick that paper towel in there. Turn it into a point. It sucks it up. A couple spots here. They have a lot that would take a long time for me to dry them. A couple spots here. Get another good point there. And I noticed one more spot in the base that I have a drop of ink on that I want off. And some of my wash ran around when I did that, so I'm going to go back through, dab it real quick. If you have a spot like this, right here, that is like a little blotch, you just hit it with some water. Take your paper towel. That'll soften that ink up a little bit. Rub it around with your brush a little bit more. Now you want to be careful not to take the paint off when you do that. And effectively, that is a painted circle of Ouroboros base. I dripped some ink. Clean that up real quick. When this dries, I might hit it with another dry brush. It's going to depend on what it looks like when it's dry. I might just throw some army paint or varnish on it and be done with it. But effectively, it's a pretty good looking base. It'll take probably 24 hours for the ink to dry. And then tomorrow I'll start painting these rock spires that hold the guys up. And then in a couple days we'll paint the balls, the orbs. Thank you. This is Matt Lemke with Through Gamer Goggles, painting another fig. You like what you see, please leave comments. If you see something that I did and you would like to see changed in my painting technique, let me know that too. I'm open to suggestions. I'm still learning. I'm not a professional. I'm just doing this because, well, honestly, by filming it, it makes me want to paint more. I don't know if that's good or bad. Have a good day.